This tutorial will cover how to add an asset to your Ontrack system, both with or without a template, as well as how to add commodities. To begin, click Add Item on the upper left-hand corner of your home screen. Next, you are given three options. The first, Generic Assets, is used most often. The next option, Hilti Unique Asset, is used when you are adding a Hilti asset that has a serial number and is linked to your Hilti account. When you add Hilti assets using a serial number, much of the data will be automatically entered and you can continue adding the asset as normal. The next option is adding a commodity, which is an item tracked by quantity rather than individual scan code on each piece, such as shovels, pipe wrenches, or extension cords. For this example, we will choose Generic Asset. Always begin from the top of your screen working down when entering data into fields. Click on the field for scan code. You must now choose between the Hilti Smart Tag or Bluetooth tag or barcode. For this example, we will choose barcode. When the camera appears, simply scan the barcode to capture the data. You may also choose to enter an alternate code. This is often a number that a company may have used to identify assets prior to Ontrack. Next, enter the serial number. We highly recommend entering the serial number if found, as this gives you another way to identify the asset in the system should the tag be damaged or lost. On the next screen, you may either select a template or skip by hitting the red arrow at the bottom. We'll first add this asset with a template. For this example, we will add the Makita LS1013F miter saw. Since we've used a template, the manufacturer, model, and description will automatically be entered. Next, we can add an image by selecting the plus sign and uploading it from either the files or taking a photo with the camera. You may choose to add an additional description known as a friendly name, but this is not required. Next, select an asset group. If you do not yet have an asset group in which your new asset belongs, you may add it by selecting the plus sign at the top of the screen. Next, choose a default location. This is typically the warehouse or whatever location is home base for this asset. While the current location will fill in with the default location, you may wish to select a different current location. Depending on which current location you have selected, the responsible person will default to the location manager for your selection. However, you may wish to change the responsible employee. Lastly, while most assets are owned, you have the option to change them to rented, fleet, or loaned. Click the red check mark to complete adding the asset. If you do not yet have a template for an asset, you will begin adding the asset as we did in the first example. When given the option to select a template, simply click the red arrow to skip this process. Again, you may upload an image if you wish to do so. While not highlighted red, it is necessary to enter the manufacturer, model, and description in order to properly search for assets. After entering this data, continue adding the asset as before. Lastly, you may wish to add commodities via the Ontrack mobile app. Just as we added a scan code to an asset, we must do the same for a commodity. However, because commodities are not tracked individually and by quantity only, we do not need a serial number. Again, you may choose to add an optional alternate code. Just like adding an asset, you can add an image by uploading or using the camera. Next, enter the manufacturer, model, description, and asset group. In the storage section, select your default location and current location, as well as your current quantity at the current location only. Confirm your responsible employee and click the red check mark to complete.